What's good, everybody? It's your brother, Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet. And I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So I discovered over the weekend that there was a young man named Austin Holloman, and I've never watched this channel before. I didn't know who he was before. I only saw the repercussions of the nonsense that he was doing, but the young man he made some videos talking about basically how he got chased out of Brazil. Okay, so he's one of these young men who ascribes to that passport bro nonsense, that whole passport bro cult. And he went down to Brazil. He had been living there for a few months, and he was doing stupid stuff. He was doing a lot of the dumb things that passport bros do, where he was going around making videos, interviewing the women there, talking about, comparing Brazilian women to American women, and, asking women really dumb questions like, how soon would you sleep with me, or how soon would you kiss me? And the perception that he was giving in his videos, I don't think he fully realized it, but the perception that he was giving is that you as an American can just go to Brazil and sleep with as many Brazilian women as you want to. And the Brazilian people saw that and took offense to it. And mainly there was a Brazilian feminist who got online and disseminated this young man's videos, and people have been writing several articles about it. They've sent this man's videos to the authorities and whatnot, and there are even some people who made threats against this young man's life, and he basically got the hell out of there, which was a smart thing to do. So, it would be real easy for me to make fun of Austin, and I thought about doing the video that way, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, because once I figured out what his age was, and once I heard some of his other videos, it's obvious this young man is severely misguided. He is the result of all of the gender war nonsense that has been put on social media by both black males and black females. Okay, that is the environment that he obviously grew up in. Excuse me. And it's warped his mind. Okay, he has no idea what a real relationship is. He has no idea how to approach women. I can tell just by his videos and even the stuff that he's saying to these Brazilian women. Like, who goes up to a woman in another country and asks, how soon would you go home with me, or how soon would you kiss me? Like those dumb social media interviews that you see on like either TikTok or YouTube. Young men need to, that's not how real life works. Okay, that's the problem. You have a lot of young people who watch a lot of these videos and they listen to a lot of these content creators in the gender war, and they put out so much bullshit, and it basically wound up getting this young man in trouble. And this is the thing that I and others, maybe people like either Sean James or even the Black Authority, have been warning about when it comes to this whole passport bro mentality. Okay, this whole passport bro nonsense has gotten him in trouble. All right, and it could have got ended his life if those people made good on their threats. You have to be careful when you do stuff like this, and be careful and be more considerate when you go to these other countries. Stop acting as if you're this wise American that's going to go somewhere and women are just going to fall all over you because they respect your manhood, or whatever nonsense that these gurus like Andrew Tate, or Andrew Taint, I should call him, and others have poured into your heads. All right? That is not the way to live. Like, let me just play like a little bit of the first video that Austin made where he was trying to apologize. Well, this is him making a video talking about why he was getting out of Brazil, and you can hear the nonsense in what he's talking about. Let's listen.
Bang. Now, recently, it's Austin Holloman, first of all. Recently, as in 12 hours ago from now, 3 a.m. Brazil time, Salvador, Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro time, Austin, I posted a video, a clip of my longer YouTube videos titled "Do Brazilian Women Like Criminals or Good Dudes?" The purpose of this video was for my followers to get a perspective on the difference of the culture between Brazil and the United States. Because the United States, the women like the criminals. This has been scientifically proven.
See, like right off the bat, that's BS, and I can tell that his mentality comes from the whole gender war nonsense that all women love criminals, especially black women. You know what I'm saying? He thinks all black American women just love criminals or thugs or whatever, right? And this is based on this whole gender war nonsense. As if there are no women who are in love with or who go gaga over criminals in South America. See, obviously, this young man has no idea what he's talking about. Okay, the moronic and buffoonish rappers that try to emulate drug dealers, they're trying to emulate drug dealers from South America, real drug dealers in South America, real criminals, real killers, real bad guys. You got a lot of rappers and other criminals that name themselves after those scumbags down in South America, and there are women who flock to them all the time. Okay, so for him to even say something like this, like make it seem as if only American women love criminals, and he was going to put this video out there and probably edit the hell out of it to make it seem like, hey, brothers, you need to come get your passport and come down here because the women down here, they love good guys. They don't like criminals. That's nonsense. Okay? And once again, because he was doing this and adding his voice to this gender war trash, it got him in trouble. Okay? And to the point where these feminists and these women there are comparing him and conflating him into the whole idea of sex trafficking and sex tourism and stuff like that. Okay, they've made him the face of that. His face has been on the news down there in Brazil. Okay, where people are being very critical of him and making it seem like he's just a sex tourist who's trying to tell American black men to come down to Brazil and basically take advantage of their women. That's the perception that's been put out there, and he's helped it with his buffoonery. Okay, I know he's a young man, but you need to understand at this point that you made a terrible mistake, and it is based on your mentality. This passport bro stuff needs to stop. Okay, and I'll have a bunch of knuckleheads come to my channel and say, what's wrong with being a passport bro? They're not hurting anybody. They're hurting themselves first and foremost. And when you do stuff like this, you're putting a big ass target on black American men who really are just traveling to these countries for business or whatever. You're putting a target on their back with your buffoonery when you do this. So now if a black man is out at an event or just hanging out in one of these countries, you're going to have probably some Brazilian men approach them thinking that they're just a sex tourist or they're trying to take advantage of the Brazilian women or whatever women there. And that's going to be a problem for that black man. Okay. And there's tons of stories out there of black men losing their lives in different countries because the men there saw them talking to their women. Okay, there's already a hint of racism involved in that, but now this is almost giving these people a justification to do violence against black men. And this is the problem when you have these ridiculous males get online and make all these dumb posts where you're comparing women from the States or making these false videos. Like I keep seeing people take these pictures or these little video clips that look like stock footage of interracial relationships and talking about black men are making themselves happy now and they got their passport. They're living good now. And black men have chosen to be happy. Stop that nonsense. Because all of that propaganda and BS, all of it accumulates and you're putting it on social media and you're making black men as a whole look stupid. Okay? or like we're just as bad as white men. We're some sort of guys who just want to go to these countries and take advantage of the women there. Stop that. If you want to go travel, go do that. Like this young man, like when I was at this young man's age, 22, 23, I did that traveling. But when I was traveling, I wasn't making dumb videos, or I wasn't even thinking about making comparisons between American women and the women that I was around. You see what I'm saying? It's like, so, like, about, like, I'll just give an example from my personal life. Um, I was in my early 20s. I met a young lady like after one corporate job didn't go so well. I was doing like just like a marketing job, and I met a young lady. She was Haitian, and we were hanging out on the couch, getting to know each other a little bit better. And she pulled the her breast out for me. Okay, I'll just say that. I'm trying to find nice ways to say it without getting taken off of getting this video taken down. But at that moment, I'm not sitting here thinking, well, I need to compare this Haitian girl to Black American women. Okay, I was very much in the moment. I wasn't even thinking about Black American women at the time when I'm thinking how I'm going to speak some French to this Haitian cleavage right here in my face. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on with these young men where if they are traveling to these other countries and they're with a woman of a different race or whatever, or a different culture, why are you even worried about or sweating what's going on with American women here? You see what I'm saying? Like, why are you even talking about them? Just leave that alone. If your goal is to travel and be out there and enjoy yourself or whatever, go do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But why are you coming back and making these videos talking about this is what these women are better than Black American women or just American women? And sad to say, I've seen some black females on the knucklehead side of the gender war, the black female side of the gender war. They made some videos, but they're making some very salient points about this, about the passport bros. Sad to say, and I can't stand them either because they have a lot of nonsense going on with them. But when someone's right, they're right. They were making a very salient point saying, like, a lot of these black men who are passport bros now, these were the same black men several years ago who were all up on white girls here in the States. And they're talking about how white girls in the States were better than black women. And now they've ruined that as well. Then they jumped to Latino women. Latino women were better than white women and black women here in the States. They ruined that. And now they got to go to a whole nother country and say, well, now this group of women in this country are better than American women. So you just keep running away and keep going on, adding more buffoonery. And every generation it gets worse and worse. Okay, that means if you got to keep running somewhere else, that means you're actually not solving your problems. The passport bro equivalent is like getting an addiction to some sort of substance abuse. You're not fixing your problems with the substance abuse by like smoking marijuana or drinking or snorting cocaine or whatever. You're not fixing your problems that way. Okay? That'd be like someone calling themselves cocaine bros. Like we're all going to run out here and do cocaine because that's the solution to our problems. It's not. Okay? And once again, I'm not saying traveling is a bad thing. I'm not saying you can't travel, have a good time, or travel for business or whatever. But you need to be more, have some sense about you and understand what you're doing out here, especially when you're on social media. Because this young man had a large platform, and his mind had been warped by all these older men and these gurus pumping his head full of nonsense with this passport bro trash and high value man trash, and he regurgitated it on his channel and got a large following. So now he's young, but he probably has teenagers following him, right? So he's messed the next generation up to make the same dumb mistakes. And I wish in his apology, instead of him just simping and groveling to Brazilians so he can go back there and simp some more. I wish he would kind of say, I've made a mistake about how I look at foreign people and foreign women in foreign countries, and I'm going to change my ways and not preach this whole passport bro trash. I'm just going to be a black man who travels and enjoys himself and has new experiences without having to make comparisons to American women and tear them down in order for me to have a good time and travel. Okay? Because a lot of the stuff he says in his other videos, he comes off as very awkward, and I can understand why he wasn't getting girls here. Okay? And like he was saying stuff like one of the lines that he said, I'll talk about this and then I'll close out. He was saying that, when you go down to Brazil, you can women are very affectionate, and you can get hugs and kisses and they'll go home with you, as opposed to American women where you take them on several dates and all you can get is a side hug. I don't know where he grew up at, but when I was his age, I was getting way more than side hugs. Okay. And I'm a big L7 square. I'm a big ass nerd. Okay. And I was getting way more than side hugs. There was a time where I didn't even have a car. I just had an apartment to myself, obviously. I always had make sure you have a place to live. But there was a time where I didn't even have a car. And I was getting way more than side hugs. I'll say that. I'm not going to get into details on that. Okay. I had girls singing and dancing for me in front of me in my room or my house. But I didn't, you know, I wasn't rich by any means. I'm a big square nerd, but I know how to talk to people. I just treat women like I treat everybody else. I guess that's the secret. Just I know it sounds like a cliche, but be yourself, and don't I don't put them on a pedestal, but I don't disrespect them either. I guess that's the key to everything. Just be normal, and you'll do just fine. But you folks, let me know what you think about this situation in the comments section. I very much like to hear it. If you're a passport bro and you're mad, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the nonsense that you've been preaching that is not working for these people. Okay? Be mad at that. Don't be mad at me for talking about it. Get your act together. Be a man and stop with this nonsense. A high value man who's traveling doesn't have time to do childish things like post online about how bad American or black women are here. They're out there doing their damn thing and enjoying themselves. They don't need to get on the internet and act like a buffoon. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on these devils' back.